On the evening of March 13, 1997, the sky above Phoenix, Arizona looked exactly as it always had. The city settled into night under clear conditions, with familiar stars emerging one by one. Nothing in the atmosphere suggested that the hours ahead would become one of the most widely reported and persistently debated aerial events in modern history. Across the metropolitan area, life continued normally. Families returned home, traffic thinned, porch lights switched on in quiet neighborhoods. In the open desert beyond the city, the wind moved freely across sand and brush. Everything behaved as expected. Then, without warning, lights began to appear. At first, they were easy to dismiss, a single faint point near the horizon, then another. They did not flash, they did not blink. Their brightness was steady, warmer than starlight, softer than aircraft landing lights. For several moments, they held their position long enough to attract attention, but not alarm. As minutes passed, more lights emerged. Their spacing was unusually consistent. Their movement was slow, deliberate, and collective. They did not behave like satellites crossing the sky, nor like aircraft following established flight paths. They drifted together, maintaining formation without any audible presence. From rooftops, backyards, streets, and desert outskirts, people across the city looked up and saw the same thing. As the lights continued their movement, a pattern became clear. What initially appeared as separate points resolved into a single geometric arrangement, a wide, shallow V-shaped formation stretching across a significant portion of the sky. The lights did not represent multiple independent objects. They appeared to mark the outline of something far larger. What disturbed many observers was not speed or aggression, but scale and silence. The formation moved slowly, smoothly, and at times directly overhead. It did not bank, wobble, or change orientation. No engine noise accompanied it. No vibration passed through the air. Trees, rooftops, and antennas below showed no reaction. The object, or phenomenon, seemed disconnected from the atmosphere it occupied. Witnesses described the lights as appearing low enough to judge size against buildings and streets. At that perceived altitude, the implied dimensions were enormous. Yet still, there was no sound. Across multiple neighborhoods, from entirely different vantage points, the same formation was visible simultaneously. People miles apart described identical spacing, color, and motion. This simultaneity would later become one of the most difficult aspects of the event to dismiss as misperception. The lights continued across the city and toward the surrounding desert. In some areas, they appeared to pause or hover briefly before continuing. In others, they transitioned into descending lights near the horizon, remaining visible far longer than typical military flares are known to burn. Eventually, the lights faded. The sky returned to normal. No debris fell, no disturbance followed. The city resumed its routine almost immediately. What remained was not physical evidence, but memory. In the hours and days that followed, reports poured in from thousands of witnesses. These accounts were remarkably consistent, not identical, but aligned in key details: the formation, the silence, the duration, and the scale. Official explanations soon followed. The lights, it was said, could be attributed to military flares deployed during training exercises. The explanation was technically plausible, but observationally strained. Flares descend with visible parachutes, drift with wind patterns, flicker, and burn out within known timeframes. Yet witnesses described lights that maintained formation, resisted wind influence, and remained visible far longer than expected. More critically, the earlier V-shaped formation, seen moving laterally across the city, did not match flare behavior at all. Radar data, expected to clarify the situation, provided no definitive resolution. Some records appeared incomplete, others showed no clear anomaly. The absence of confirmation did not disprove the event, but it failed to anchor it. Military airspace around Phoenix is heavily monitored. Unauthorized aircraft activity typically prompts response. Yet no intercepts were publicly acknowledged, no emergency procedures were triggered. The sky behaved as if nothing extraordinary had occurred, despite thousands of people watching something move through it. Over time, the story was simplified. Headlines reduced complexity. Media coverage condensed nuance into digestible conclusions. The event faded from active investigation, not because it was resolved, but because it was manageable once labeled. Years passed. The lights never returned. Yet something unusual happened as time moved on. The witness accounts did not drift. They did not escalate. They did not fragment. They remained stable. People described the same formation, the same silence, the same slow movement, decades apart, without coordination. Memory, which typically degrades or reshapes events, remained unexpectedly consistent in this case. This consistency does not prove extraordinary explanations, but it challenges simple dismissal. The Phoenix Lights persist because they occupy a difficult space between disciplines. They are too widely observed to ignore, yet too poorly documented to confirm definitively. They resist both belief and disbelief. What makes the event unique is not just what appeared in the sky, but where and how it appeared. This was not a remote location. It was not a small town. It was a major city spread across a vast area, with thousands of unrelated observers witnessing the same phenomenon at the same time. No single explanation comfortably accounts for all aspects: the geometry, the duration, the silence, the scale, the simultaneity, and the absence of corroborating technical data. And so the Phoenix Lights remain unresolved, not as a mystery demanding belief, but as an event that refuses closure. They exist as a discrepancy between human observation and institutional explanation, between what was seen and what was later said to have happened. Perhaps the most unsettling aspect is not the lights themselves, but the implication they leave behind, that under the right conditions, something can pass through a modern sky, observed by thousands, and leave behind nothing but questions. Not every mystery announces itself with chaos. Some arrive quietly, move slowly, and disappear without explanation. The Phoenix Lights did not change the world. They did not interrupt daily life for long. They simply introduced a moment where certainty failed and never fully recovered. If you want to continue exploring mysteries where history, evidence, and perception do not align neatly, subscribe to the channel and join us in the next episode. Ancient rock art depicting UFO-like objects. What did ancient people see?